Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Mobile video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller. Now this can be done on iOS devices, so iPhones, iPads, etc., or indeed on Android devices such as phones and tablets. I have already made a video showing you guys how you can go ahead and do this on PC, which will be linked down in this video's description. So a new update just went live for Call of Duty Mobile in which added zombies to the game finally, and they also brought back controller support that has been very much anticipated ever since it was removed for the full release of the game because it was present within the beta of the game. Now if you pair up Call of Duty Mobile with a controller, you will only match up with other people using a controller, or indeed PC players playing using the Game Loop emulator, so it makes it fair because you are not at an advantage to other mobile players. So on screen right now are the timestamps for if you want to go ahead and find out how to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller on iOS, or if you want to find out how to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller on Android. So it's very simple to do. Now you can do this with any controller of your choice that allows for a Bluetooth connection. So this could be a PS4 controller, it could be an Xbox One controller, it could be a gamepad. Whatever controller you want to use, you are able to use as long as it enables Bluetooth. Now because you are going to be using Bluetooth, there might be a slight bit of latency, so when using your controller, make sure you are as close to your device as possible, as that will limit the latency. With that all being said, first of all I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller on iOS. So you need to have iOS 11 installed in order to do this, or any future iOS versions that come out after iOS 11. So all you need to do is you need to head over to your settings tab and you need to scroll over to Bluetooth. You need to then enable your Bluetooth. Now here it will start scanning for different Bluetooth devices, so you need to activate Bluetooth on your controller. Now if you are using a PS4 controller like I am in the background, in order to activate Bluetooth, you need to hold down the PlayStation button and the share button for a few seconds at the same time, and then the light at the front will start flashing, and then the PS4 controller will appear within your Bluetooth devices list on your iOS device, and you can click that to connect to it. Now as you can see within the footage in the background, the first time I tried to connect to my controller, it didn't work and the connection failed. If that ever happens, just repeat the process and activate Bluetooth once again, and then once again click on the device once it shows up on your iOS device to pair it up. Now if you are using an Xbox One controller, in order to activate the Bluetooth, you need to hold down the Xbox button and hold down the sync button at the same time simultaneously. It's exactly the same as using a PS4 controller. Anyways, once you have paired up your iOS device and your controller, you can then head into Call of Duty Mobile. Now if you head into Call of Duty Mobile, you need to click on your settings tab and then you want to go over to controller. Now here you will see your controller settings, and if you click on settings, you need to make sure that you have controller support enabled, and you will also see that it should now say controller connected. And there you go, that is pretty much done. So all we need to do now is just fool around with your different settings within the app to make sure it's as perfect as possible. For example, within the settings I went ahead and flipped my aim down sight and shoot buttons with my grenade buttons because I prefer to have them flipped. But you can change your settings however you please. You will probably need to change your sensitivity settings because they're going to be a lot different to just using the touchpad on your iOS device. So yeah, you can just fool around with the settings to make them as best suited for you as possible, because when I first tried to use my controller, some of the buttons weren't matching what I wanted. So yeah, just fool around with that and change them to whatever settings you want. And yeah, you can hop into a game and it should work. Everything should be working great. Right now it's working pretty much perfectly on iOS. Now this is an extra tip for you guys. I have this device that I'm able to plug into my iOS device. I will leave a link if you want to go ahead and buy it down in this video's description. This is not sponsored or anything like that, but if you plug a HDMI cable into this device, you are then able to plug the HDMI cable into your TV, and then Call of Duty Mobile will obviously show up on your TV. And since you are using a controller, it pretty much works just like if you're playing on a PS4 or an Xbox One console. And this is much better because you have a much bigger screen than just playing on your little iPhone or iPad. And I just think that it is a nice touch. Now moving on, next up I'm going to show you guys how to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller on Android devices. Now currently currently on Android's controller support isn't working properly, so this will show you how to actually set it up, but right now until a future update goes live, a lot of the controls are messed up. I'm not really sure why this has happened. Hopefully Call of Duty Mobile will fix it very soon, but nevertheless, in order to set it up, it's pretty much identical to setting it up with an iOS device. So you will need a fairly new software update on your Android device. I'm not sure exactly which update, but if you find that it doesn't work, you'll probably need to upgrade your device. And also, some of the old Android devices won't work. You will obviously need to have a certain make. Now this will be different depending on which phone you are using, but it should be pretty much synonymous across the board, or at least very similar. So what you want to do is you want to head over to your settings, and then you want to head over to Bluetooth. Here you need to click on pair new device, and then various different devices will show up. So just like on iOS, you need to go ahead and enable your controller to work with Bluetooth. So obviously I am using a PS4 controller in the background, so in order to activate Bluetooth, I need to hold down my PlayStation button and my share button for a few seconds, and then the light will start flashing at the front, and then you will see on the Android device that the controller shows up, and then I'm able to click on it to connect to it. Now if you are using an Xbox One controller, once again you need to simply hold down the Xbox button and also hold down the sync button at the same time for a few seconds in order to activate Bluetooth. And if you are using any other controller, you'll just have to look it up online or look in the instruction manual for how to set up Bluetooth. Anyways, once your controller is paired up with your Android device, you can then simply launch Call of Duty Mobile, and once again it's just like on iOS. So you want to head over to your settings, and then you want to head over to controller, and then if you head over to your controller settings, you need to make sure that you have controller support enabled, and then you will be able to just customize your settings to best suit you. So you definitely need to go ahead and change your sensitivity and stuff like that, and also you'll have to change some of the different buttons because some of them will be assigned to different buttons that you don't want. For example, I have actually gone ahead and flipped my aim down sight and shoot buttons with my grenade buttons because that is what I prefer, but you can alter your controller settings however you want. As I was saying, it's not working on Android devices for most people right now, so if you find that when you actually go ahead and try this out, if the running button isn't working, or if you're unable to look around, or if some of the buttons aren't working, unfortunately I'm not really sure why this is happening right now, but hopefully Call of Duty Mobile can fix this within the future, and then this tutorial will be great for you guys. As I was saying, if you want to know how to do this on PC, I have already posted a video down in this video's description. It's a little more complicated, but it should be pretty much the same. But anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not here for the latest and greatest Call of Duty Mobile news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.
Download free now.
I took this job because it makes the world a safer place. And that safety is never guaranteed. But I know someone else is working to make the world a dangerous place. And that someone is still out there. No one can know which side of the line they'll end up standing on. Not until they're called to action.